Good day.
Can you see me wider now?
Yeah, there you go. Good day, good way, and
Huh?
good light, illuminators and way showers. Hi, this is Wendy from Languages of Light, and I'm here with Joana Ayala, and we are just been having a delightful conversation today about gifts and abilities and sharing and light languages, and we just wanted to hang out for a little bit. And rather than really getting into the nitty gritty of the how and the what and the why of galactic light languages, which we intend to do in future endeavors. But for now, we just wanted to get together and practice. And I did wanted to introduce again Joana, and she too is a galactic light language speaker and singer, and is also beginning doing private sessions as well. And so we just wanted to share the languages of light and hopefully eliminate a little bit of the mystery behind it all, and just let people know that it's really from your heart and it's from source and God, or however you want to call it, and your angels and your higher selves and our galactic families. And we are a part of everything, and everything's a part of us. And we just want to share our joy of the beauty of these languages with the human collective consciousness. So, with that, Joana, is there anything you'd like to say or add, or just start talking light language?
Thank you for that introduction. You have such a beautiful way with words. Yeah, I think it was a very beautiful and profound conversation that we got to have around really embracing what this ability can do, and what it's doing for us, and it's transforming us from the inside out, allowing us to really step into this higher version of ourselves. So I'm just happy to be here with you right now, and have share in this experience together.
Yes, thank you. And I'm equally as excited to be with you and having this conversation, and everything that we shared today and talked about, and the synchronicities, and it's not just me and you, it's I'm hearing this echoing from the spiritual community about wanting to learn and explore more about these new understandings and abilities, because we don't even really understand them yet, because we're just now experiencing it, yet we're guided to share them, and feeling this inner urge and push to share this information, because we know it's so transformative for the human collective. And even though we don't understand it completely, we like to talk about even that we don't understand it completely. And that we're, even though we're delivering this
I think
information,
there's
and
a magic to it, that it is a mystery still, and even with that, I mean, we're unraveling it just as much as we're like sharing about it with each other, like.
exactly, exactly. And I just know that when I'm in that place, or when I'm feeling that feeling, and when the information's coming through, and it's, again, we'll get into the details another time about the ins and outs of it all, but it's that feeling of sheer unconditional love and acceptance and bliss and harmony that is inexplicable, really. But all I can say is it is the most pure love I've ever experienced. And there's no doubt in my mind, or my heart, or my being, or every fiber of me, that it's good and pure love. And it's like I feel the angels singing in my heart when I'm speaking to that, speaking languages. So, and that's just my experience, and how it enlivens all of my chakras, and how it makes me feel. And the feedback I've received from other people who've listened to it, who can't even explain their own physical and mental reactions. You know, when they hear it, it's something their body feels and understands. It's like you're receiving a message in light codes and you're absorbing it. And because I'm receiving the same healing as I'm speaking it as well. So it's not just delivering the message, it's about, it's also receiving it for myself and how it makes me feel inside and how it activates me and empowers me and makes me feel that complete and utter connection to source.
Right. And also, I think that I think it's important that a lot of people try to make sense of these sort of transmissions through a logical mind, and like you said, it accesses people on a deeper level, and it um, speaks directly to their higher self, and and it affects their bodies in a very real way, and so they don't even really have to believe anything that you're saying. It's your body is already getting, their bodies are getting the messages of what's being shared, and it feels like love, and it feels like acceptance, and it feels like source energy that's coming through.
It does. It feels like I don't know, I don't know, like God's hugging me. You know, how do you? It's just such
Yeah.
a warm and wonderful
Yeah.
explosion of, and it doesn't really matter what the entity is or who they, you know, give themselves a vibration or impression that they are. It just has always been for me an extremely loving and pure experience. And everyone who's listened to them and has commented has said that they can't even explain sometimes that emotion that it evokes, and the information that comes through is like in these big packets of information. Like if I were to try to write it down, it'd probably take me in just volumes and volumes and volumes to write it down, and then to try to translate that information into just a couple of sentences or paragraphs or whatever
Mm-hmm.
is sometimes challenging. And but it's it's more of a feeling, and without getting into the nitty gritty of it, um but I try, and when I can, I try to convey as much of the information into useful, everyday. How do I make this apply in my real life? How do I make my 3D experience here better because of this information that I'm hearing and
Mm.
feeling?
Mm. I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. I like that you asked yourself that question, because I think that's what draws disconnect between I guess somebody that would receive this, a client that would receive this sort of transmission, and then, they feel this great love and this great acceptance and connection, and then they think, well, how do I apply this, and I think that's a wonderful question to be asking yourself as somebody that is sharing light language with people, because um, I think I ask myself the same question when I speak it to myself, when I, you know, give myself a sort of energy boost with guidance, with, divine guidance. And I think that's a really great point that you brought up.
Well, it's thank you. I appreciate that, and because it is something that it's not something that we take lightly, and we take it very seriously. Yet there's a lightness and a fun to it. But this information we do not distribute lightly, and we know that there's something that needs to be shared. And even if we don't know why, it's just like anybody else who creates anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a novel, a documentary, a film, a piece of any kind of art, music. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't even have to be anything anybody makes it, whether even a sandwich. It's about the creation. It's about it's not really about an end result. It's about the journey of it and the joy of the experience of it. And I was trying to think of how better to articulate what I was trying to say with that. But how do I bring this information in a way that's going to assist us in this journey?
Mm.
And why is it that we are receiving this information and have this urge to share it? And as we were talking about earlier, whether you create a piece of art, you're doing it because you feel this need to create within you, whether, and so you take the thing that you know how to do, regardless of what it is, whether it's your livelihood, whatever it is that you're creating something, and you're guided to do it for a reason. And painter doesn't really ask, why am I painting this particular painting, or who's going to be looking at it. They're just painting it because that's their expression in that now of their experience. Well, that's really all any of this is um the point is, when people ask, well, what's the reason for them, what's their purpose? Well, that's like asking, what is the purpose of a sculpture or a piece of music, any creation at all? Why do we make children? It's because we can, because we're guided to, because it's an expression of source. I don't know the answer. I just know we spend a lot of time trying to figure out why, instead of just letting it be about the journey and about the experience, instead of
Mm-hmm.
analyzing it and trying, like you said, trying to wrap our 3D limited belief systems around something new that we don't quite understand, and then trying to stuff labels on it, pin labels on it, stuff it into pockets, or ideals, when it doesn't belong. They don't call it metaphysical for no reason, because it's beyond physics. It's beyond what we know as the physical realm, but it's real. You can't feel or smell or taste or touch. Well, you can touch it, sort of, electricity, but boy, it's there.
Right.
And so, not to get off on the tangent, but we spend a whole lot of time trying to defend or analyze or justify or deny or approve or look for approval in what we're doing, instead of just enjoying the journey, accepting that you have received this information and this ability for a reason, just like anybody else gets any, and everybody's good at something for a reason. And when you're brought when something brings you joy, and you are gift and you are given the guidance to share it, we do not need to know the when, the why, the how, the reason. We just need to know, if it brings you joy, share it.
Right. I think those are really powerful words that you just said, and I can feel, the healing effects of what you just said. If it brings you joy, it's like, do it. I feel it like getting into my body, and like my
It's
body's shaking like a bell. Like that is
it's the
truth.
reason. It's the reason that thing brings you joy and makes you vibrate, because that is your core vibration. That
Mm.
is who, and you're given that instinct to do that thing, and to explore that thing. And even if that changes tomorrow, that doesn't mean you have to have an expectation that it has to go somewhere or have an end result, when it's about the act of doing it or hearing it or feeling it or experiencing it. You don't listen to a song because you think something else is going to happen at the end of listening to it. You listen to the song
Right,
because
right.
you want to experience the song, without any expectation of what's going to happen after you listen to it. So it's no different than anything else. And
Right.
so truly that is what this is about, and not analyzing or trying to wrap around our current limited belief systems about things that we are coming to understand, because it's those limited beliefs that prevent us from exploring the new.
Yes, I agree. And with that, I would love to, bless up our day with a little bit of
Yes, because we are
light
now
language
living
sharing. And I feel like that's a really great, intention, and it's a very clear space to go into to just sharing and conversing, and yeah,
well,
I think it's
I will
perfectly.
I will make just a really brief statement, and then go ahead and jump in, and then we will have a conversation. Imotoro kwa samai sana kwa la siana koya. Inatoluku sosoya kalianda rakisina. Sono wasawasha. Itulu kwa pora. Ni antia sali tarakona.
Sotatai koraya puotan. Nana yota saya. Tayarayu tuikata tumana. Yatasata yatura tayo paikapu. Uara yamananto suikaku. Kuakuatana muara. Yatayata nun tu sokai. Ura yatayamana. Tato.
Inutua. Inutua kotoro kwa shami atakila siana no kwa. Imotola hasani atarakora sha. Inicia todo kwa pala. Inutia. Anomoso Torah Kashaya Kaliantaraki Samalantiaka Molora Sianakoa Anyana Waso Inotura Amosaya Kwashana Kiatara.
Kutuara tanam puta saikatu. Yarayu namun taikata sa. Tusu tayara. Namu maikata ikuara. Katu tuana mana yosuara. Yumman poikatu. Nana yatu tuyasara yutumana. Muera puakaiko. Shokorai kumano. Ta kuota puta ropo.
Inutoya Samia Soa Ayon Kayashaya. Inisitu Asopo Anshiana Akwa Toyasumi Kwasaya. And even though you do not understand the words in your own language, your language of love understands. Isotoro kamosho siapua shina kayuso ayeshana. Isotoro kosopo ashayakosa. It is if my heart understands all the words you are saying, even though my brain cannot compute the words, the language. Imosoto yakosomo hosotoro kosamia, because they are languages of the heart. Isonobu kosanyana, of higher levels of understanding unconditional love. Imosotorukwa saponte akala kiasa mohasa. Sotorukwa biana katarikola hasina. Just as you sing a lullaby to your babies. Isonokwa shona hisa. The song, the words truly do not matter. It is the intention and the love behind the words, the song. Isotorukoyama sotorukoyashina. This is what the child feels. Anokoe poankaya shana wahasani atorukua. Lihisisi anatorukua bosha yanakwa kayesa. Swaddled in their mother's love. Isonokwa pohashana koyatihisa. These languages bring to you this feeling, this knowing that you are loved and you are not alone. Isonoko apunga yashandandi rakondara poha no hasanatoko hasha. Nisayo torokwai ihani saya katoa. Siana, that you are loved unconditionally on multi levels, multi dimensions. Asonono kwaipoen dara shoya isihi, and then you feel this love from these dimensions. In the sound of the songs and the languages, your cells are remembering who you are.
Tayatayu arayaku kanananu wana urayatusu kutayu paru tunoma kutusuarayu tuanama yayaku tumana satuarayatu yakuana munayatasayatu yayukutara tanantutusayu koikapu.
Niantu kaya natuha. Mohashana kia palahisana tua kamboha salai. Ni untutuko sopuhashaya mahakati. Motu asa imara. Mintura kisamaiko shanyana na kosopalanti. Ilonsianaka. Ni tutua alasi onono sapaya. Iluturuko poshana apoya anetia luku o sonopoya hisa. Tuturku ambaya hina. Kotoruku puso sopondara. Kalana. Usuyu hashania walatu. Ontaya poko. Toruku sopoyalani anaku.
Arayatunama yatayata sutaikaro tanumaya puika yashora yunama nantu sutaikataya tapu yaru nomana yakutu yasa tuaranam potaikaru tutayasutu yakutana tunona mayatu sukuakaru tunama yokoikapu tuara numan tutusukua putoapuiku munantoa tayatu tataikata suru kukuata mumatapuika putaikatu sutua katunoma orayatu.
Welcome, Katarina. Would you like to speak galactic language with us today?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
sister. I love you. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I love you too. Oh my God, I was actually looking for videos so I could practice.
Do you speak as well?
uh, I'm starting. I don't know what I say, and I don't know whether I'm doing it right.
There is no right, and we still don't know what we're saying. We just we know what we're saying, and we feel it. So you go for it, girl. If you want to.
You know the language what you were saying before. Sometimes I do it in my shower.
Yes, me too. A lot.
I speak it to myself all the time. Like I sing it. It's like the world's just weaving in and out now. I do it in my shower too.
And I'm glad that you said that about weaving in and out, because that's really what it is like. It's all day. I can hear it all the time. It's just.
Oh my God.
It's like, it's funny because it's like when I open my mouth, it's like, I don't even, it's just there. It's like a flowing river
it's not, you're not thinking, okay, how do I say that? What do I say? It's just like, Imotoruko esa balianta rakisha somoha kalakoisha shahi. Lisisi apaduko shamaleata rakima otoruko o hosha niki sipuloha yena susupo shashakiale. Otoruko mo hushoko kiema ilisisi sotoruko posha. It's like we're having conversations as if we're like old friends and family members, and like we're talking to our brothers and sisters and cousins and we know exactly what we're saying but don't have a clue what we're saying. But it's like we know what we're saying.
Right.
And do you
Yes.
feel your heart pounding
Mine right now.
when they try to come out?
My heart is pounding right now. My hands are like.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
What happens for
Well,
you, Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I feel my chest feels like it's going to explode.
Your heart chakra opens, your crown chakra opens, your throat chakra opens. It's like your solar plexus open, and then your
Oh God.
root chakra like holds you to the earth while you're like just.
Oh my God. And but sometimes it comes out different.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it's different all the time. I mean, and it depends on the energy, the
Okay.
entity, it depends on the civilization. It's just like okay, look at it this way. If you were to travel all over the world and you experience the languages of the globe, you are going to feel them differently. And I think we can all say for ourselves as humans, we resonate with certain languages, even in our own planet, more than others. Some of them, that's why those of us who English is our first language, many of us wish to explore French or Italian or Spanish or whatever it is. It's no different. It's like it's just something you are gravitated toward. And we aren't sure why, no more than I'm sure why I like listening to French or Italian or Spanish. So,
And what do you mean when you say it depends on the being that's near?
for example, I feel differently. Well, I don't want to say differently because the feeling of love is always the same. But I can tell the difference between who's who
Mm-hmm.
and the energy. And this is something that Joanna and I were talking about earlier about us trusting this. Okay, like we were talking about the avian collective in particular,
Right.
that if she or we know in our heart of hearts that what they're saying to us is, hello, we are the avian collective and we have information or we have a message or we would like to connect with you, or we start speaking languages and they tell me it's the avian collective. The whole point of what this ascension process is, and every channeler, I don't care who it is, they're going to tell you the same thing. Trust what you're hearing, because
Yeah.
you cannot imagine that which you are not already the vibration of. You cannot hear the idea, hello, we are the Aven Collective, if you're not that vibration already.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
And
It
also,
won't even enter your awareness. It won't even, it's like somebody on the other side, like in another, okay, for example, my next door neighbor, I can assure you probably isn't watching this broadcast and probably never will.
Hmm.
But I don't know that for sure, but you understand what I'm saying? It's by vibration. And if by fact that my neighbor did pop in this broadcast right now, then I know for sure it was because of frequency, and that you can't become or experience something you're not the vibration of. It just is not, in the laws of physics and the laws of the universe, it's not possible.
Yeah.
and also to expand more on the what comes through, or how do I know whom or what it is that's coming through? Like, for example, I think being in different geographies or geographic areas can really change the sort of
I
um,
agree.
the frequency or the transmissions that come in. Because, for example, I went to Joshua Tree a couple of months ago, actually, and I was camping on land on this land that that was available to us through couch surfing, me and my partner. And the first night that we were there, I like all of a sudden I had this feeling that there was I started getting these transmissions from this very sort of masculine, very benevolent, like lizard being. And I was like thinking like I was hearing this person or this being talk, and I was like, whoa, this being really feels different. Like I know this one has a very, you know, distinct sort of flavor, and you kind of could just feel of what's coming through by listening to the sounds. And you know, I like to close my eyes sometimes, and I see visuals. I sometimes see visuals with my eyes open as well. So there's different ways that you can tell whom or what is coming through and what they're saying just in the way that you feel. And I think that's something that that we've learned not to trust, is how we feel inside. Is like, well, you know, that felt really exciting, but wait, was that real? Or wait, did that really happen? Or, you know, that all these doubts come in. And so it's a really big process of self-trust, and I love it for that reason, because it's really strengthened that muscle of like, yes, that's what this is. You know, like this is what is happening for me right
I
now.
like that. I love that you said that about muscle, because it's just like everything else. It's everybody wants to be good at. You have to practice. You have to. It doesn't
Right.
matter what you do. And telepathy and connecting with higher source and higher dimensions, it's not that you have to try, but you have to allow, but you also have to practice allowing.
That's
I mean,
true.
and you do. I mean, practicing allowing is something that's about one of the hardest things for a human to do,
Yeah.
because we feel like we gotta control everything, and it has to have a purpose and an end result. And if it doesn't have an end result, then what's the meaning of doing it? It's like
Right.
we've got it all backwards,
Yeah. Is
you
this hitting
know?
home with you at all, Carolina?
Yeah, Catalina, it's like, does that answer the question of how to
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely yes.
differentiate between them?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm from the point of view that I'm not. Oh, I wasn't sensitive at all. I'm very new to being able to feel like the new vibrations and frequencies. I'm very new to these. I was very blind before about what I felt, and so I'm starting to kind of experience and discover like new feelings, and you know, I'm starting to realize that even the subtlest little things that you feel, they can be so meaningful as well.
Yep.
And so the where I am, what,
It's okay. I live
I'm
behind the
outside.
door too.
it's okay. And so where I am at the moment is trying to figure out which one is which. What, you know, what means what, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
so at this stage, for example, when I feel my heart pounder, when somebody speaks a language, then I know that it's something trying to come out.
Yes, exactly.
But that, you know, that this is when I recognize it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize
Uh,
it. That's
yeah,
what awareness is. It's about
yeah,
recognizing that feeling. And like Joanna and I were talking about earlier about like the fear and the doubt and jealousy and all these things that we tend to push away as bad and negative. And it's like, no, there's signposts to say, okay, if I'm feeling jealous, it means that I'm feeling lack, or that I'm comparing myself to someone, that I'm not good enough, that I don't believe in myself. And that icky feeling you get is source telling you, your spirit guides telling you that that isn't true, what you're thinking about yourself, and that's why you feel icky and why you feel jealous or anxious or depressed. It's not it's not something to be feared or to push away or to say it shouldn't be happening or I'm a spiritual being, I shouldn't be thinking this or feeling this thing, because it's if we start to allow and embrace those normal everyday feelings, that in of itself opens up the door to exploring all of this, because we start to realize we aren't doing anything wrong or bad, or it's just an experience, and we wouldn't be experiencing it if we weren't the vibration of the experience. So if you don't like the experience, you have to change the vibration. It doesn't go the other way.
Mhm. Would you like to give it a try, Carolina?
Yes, please.
At-
If you want to. Otherwise, we'll just talk and then you just jump in if it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I
whatever
think
feels.
Okay.
it feels better when you start talking, then I can
Okay.
start feeling it.
Okay.
Okay.
Shorayu kutano ma. Shanana o yauro ayutona. Yaramanto so atuikatu. Ika puntaro. Yamau yatusata. Kotantatu yapu. Boshora tamu taika. Arayuna mantutu. Shotaikat manu tuso. Yamanamayo. Watatu sutayatura. Yanana mayuna tuta. Gatu.
I love that. I haven't heard that one. I love it.
I haven't heard it either.
Oh, I know. I just love it when they just. Oh
Can,
yeah,
can,
they're singing.
can you
Oh,
carry on? Just carry on for a little bit. I think it's coming.
Shotokai kotama. Nananto sutayatu. Arayu tanamo kaika. Kakukuamana. Morayata sata. Yatunana. Nayakatusu. Satutu yata. Kanta yutu apa. Upa. Unuma. Kika pusuta. Nana. Daya pututa satuka. Yana yutama maya. Kuta satu. Yaramano yapukoika. Yarama umayuta sana. Yana urayi.
Soroto katayano. Atiyayata. Kato yodnai.
Inoto yata.
Atayitili. Yata tokoma na.
Beautiful.
Inuko.
Atayan takosoroto. Atayaniti. Atoroyo. Soro tayano.
Nito roko sato roko la yasani te akato roko mpo e shanyata roko ayahi. Lisine yasato roko. Inuko sa. So do you feel, Catalina, do you feel maybe what energy you might be speaking? Inoto yasa.
I feel one of my daughter's energies, so it could be either Syrian or Pleiadian.
And I was going to tell you it was both.
Oh my God!
See, and this is what I wanted, this is why I wanted
This
to
is
ask you right
amazing.
now, because you knew right away, and I didn't want to tell you because I knew you already knew, and it was both Syrian and Pleiadian was what you
It's
were
just
speaking.
because, I usually imagine them speaking like this.
And that's exactly what Joanna and I are both speaking also is Syrian and Pleiadian. Just
Oh my
so
God!
that's why, and I just wanted to get so everyone gets a feel for trusting that.
This is amazing. By any
So,
chance, do you know what I was saying?
I was getting a lot of information, and it was way too much for me to try to decipher because I wasn't focusing on that part of it. So,
Right. Okay.
the
Oh,
Nituri
brilliant.
Washania Tarakiso Onuko Sopo Hashana. Isiti Lisisiana Kuetarahisa. Many times they're telling me, many times what we're saying is like similar to what you'd be saying in English. So, for example, I am not really comfortable with what I'm saying, and I'm not even sure what I'm saying, but I know that I'm feeling the need to say these as if I'm connecting to something. So it's like you're talking about what you're feeling
Right.
is
I
kind
got
of
that
what
as
I
well.
was, that's what I was
Oh,
getting.
and oh my God, thank you so much. And Joanna, that was beautiful. Oh my God, that's
Uh,
beautiful.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was quite as it was beautiful for me on this side too because there's like a lot of birds around me, and
yes,
so
I can hear, I love it.
the
There's been a
hearing
lot of
them
singing.
around is really nice, and I really do feel like they're you know a collective that I work with a lot. So I love that they're
I can
in
feel that
Around.
around, I can feel the
Oh,
energy of them around you, that this is like your, I don't know,
yeah.
your tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too. I know that I work with them, and other beings have come through, but I do share a connection with the bird tribes.
And that's a very high Syrian energy, by the way,
Mm.
the avian and so forth. Ima sotoruku sana alisiti ituruku emosha hima lasi. Inususopo ashania tarakila ndoroko sabiana. Silisiana taria doroko. Leandarakiso nodoroko ambola sianakila. Sotorukusha. Hamo ayasalisa samakwa. Somo osha shapon tarakila asana. Soturuku somo hosho. Aluha ki. Sinaturuku sabosha niana sola. They also wanted me to mention about there's different mudras and sign language that have a lot of information in them by themselves. Imesotoruku ambosha hila mokorashanati la asanotoku ambosalaha ni soha that also carry a great deal of energy. Mesotorukua Alessasia natoka. Poshonahisa la antisa anoko eposha. Nisa
Yeah,
la hinanoko. You can like feel the intention of it, you know.
yeah,
Amoso ashiata. Honayala soya hashura nahi. Oraha. Olania turakasina. Alanahi. Honaya halia. Ilanahi. Honaralati hala. Unatyato lakashina la tirana lahi. Unalaya sotura kamahi. Oh, oh. Nisatoruko shomo hazasi. Sinotoruko so pushonoko agoya nahi wa asho. Oso tuka. Nisonono so soporan shashara. Isitiriki lesa samakota nyuno moloha. Ihine situ. Um, okay, so they were telling me that, okay, there's different types of people and different channelers and different healers, and the same thing goes with your galactic guides. So each have different languages and different songs that perform, okay, not perform, assist with different parts of the human ascension. So, Misatarakusa, you know, so when you recognize it or you feel a response, when you feel a physical response to it, to a language, you're connecting with the different civilizations that are your family, that are your, okay, so say you've been asking your spirit guides, but you're not really sure who your spirit guides are. So you say, I ask my spirit guides for guidance, for help, for whatever it is, assistance. And it comes by way of many things, and one of them is languages. And so when you hear them, you're receiving the information you've been asking for. And
Right.
they come from different places, so they make you feel different ways, and what they're telling me is they each have different purposes. So sometimes it's for your crown chakra, or for whatever, your throat chakra, or to open your chakras, or it's to bring you peace, or to bring you clarity, or to bring you calm, or to bring you um, um, belief in yourself. So if you've been putting something out there, they're telling me that um, when you're guided to a particular language or a particular, any video, really, any YouTube video, you're receiving your answer. And so the galactic languages, that's what it's doing, is answering your call, and also helping you connect with those beings of your family, your hybrid children. So it's all these different reasons why we speak them and hear them.
And I would like to add on that a little bit. I agree with you with when you say that it's like a custom frequency that comes down and comes in through the form of language and sound. And with the work that I've done with some clients in sharing light language, it's been that their higher self, or they in this 3D realm, have to need the medicine of a certain frequency, and in our sessions, that resonance comes through in light language transmissions, and like helps them. It suits their needs, specific needs, and
That
so.
is so perfect. I love that, because they just gave me the image of, that's why we crave different foods.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
They're telling me it's exactly no different. It's the same thing.
Right.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like
Because your
it's
cells
like
need different things.
So, it's not the same every time with sessions with people, and even with myself, I can't ever expect the same frequency to come through every time. Now, I have, like, for example, with certain songs, there has been songs that I remember, but the words aren't the same. And
Me
so
too.
there's like the intonation, so I go with like the familiarity of the structure of the sound,
Yes.
but the words are never the same.
I'm so glad you said that, because I've never been able to articulate that exactly. It's like very similar to the song, but the words are different. The meaning's different.
Right.
Yeah, wow, that was great. Thanks.
Yeah,
This
and
is amazing.
it's really great too, because some of the song that I shared with you earlier, I've never, it's just there all the time.
It's just, and
It's
and
like
and like you said, it's never, and even my own experiences, I can do languages every day, and I don't know that I don't know that they make me they make me feel the same ever twice.
right.
You know?
Do you ever have the experience, or do you ever have the experience, Catalina, too, of doing something? Have you ever spoken it and it being really a mundane moment, and it's just kind of like, it's like, does it transform your mundane moment, or does it just feel as normal as your everyday moments now when you speak it?
It's because I'm very new at this. So I've only started about a week ago. That
Oh my
started,
gosh.
oh, maybe 2 weeks ago. That started
Oh my gosh,
uh,
that's great.
in,
Congratulations.
in in the shower.
And that's where it
It just
started for me. It did in the shower. Hey,
That's
we're
great.
made of water. We're conduits, people.
but when I do that, I just feel so relaxed. It takes me to such a good place, like as if it's something like a feeling when I just had a meditation, or it's just very calming, very, it's a high energy, but it's very calming at the same time, and it's just very lovely. I don't have
Mm.
I don't have a clue what I'm saying, but
I like that you said that because that's a very good way to put it because that's how I feel too. It's very calming, yet I'm so energized all at the same time.
yes.
Mm. I like that. And there's a, I think that there is a lot more to language or than what we currently understand. And so you've said that you don't have a clue, and we've said we don't have a clue what we're saying, but really there's more that's, where we're processing it rather than just with our logical mind. And so it's like we do have an idea of what it is,
I need to.
and it and the evidence exists outside of our logical minds, in our bodies, in our hearts. That sort of those subtler, um,
Yeah, I think because it comes from the heart, right?
right.
Yes.
You feel it, you feel the meaning, but you don't really necessarily have the knowledge, I
Right,
guess.
Yes.
Right. That
right.
is beautiful. I love
And
it.
well, the other thing is though is that when you were speaking it earlier and you said I'm new at this and what they wanted me to say right away is, oh no, 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 that's quite the contrary. you've you've known it a long time.
Oh, wow.
You're
Okay.
just remembering. You're just remembering, and that's one of the things that when people ask what does activating mean, that's what
Mhm.
that means. You're remembering.
Oh, I
You're
like
Right.
that.
you're activating a memory that you forgot you had.
I like that.
Ah,
I like the way that you just shared that. I think that's really beautiful. I'm later.
Because and something you said about there was something you said about your clients too, and I then somebody else talked to me and I lost my train of thought
Mm.
because it was about and now I don't remember. I guess I'll come back to it, so I don't want to muddy the
Well,
water. But
I was talking. I mentioned that it's different for every person, so everybody's needs are different, and what
and
they,
and that
what
is
sort of,
and that's the way it is for all these languages and for anybody who's listening. Oh, that was it. Oh my gosh, that was the message. Okay, see, I told you they'd tell me again. I said if it's important, they'll make me say it. Um, so okay, so what they said was okay. So we listened to these languages. And what you said about it activating certain things in certain people and it's different, what they wanted me to say was it it continues to activate within you long after you've listened to it or spoken it. It's they're telling me it's like opening up the first book of an encyclopedia set,
mm,
and that it's like um, it's like it opens up the door for continued understanding, like it allows you, it activates things in us that then allows us to absorb even higher understanding. But it's like they're telling me it's like a time lapsed aspirin. Like you take it now, but it lasts for 4 hours. Well, it's like that.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't just do it. It's not just activating it in this now. It's activating something within you that's going to continue to activate other things.
Yeah. And I like that you said that it's like that it's going to continue activating other things, is because I don't know if I shared with you how this process of remembering light language was for me happened through an activation that I got from a healer friend of mine, and months later after that I tapped into I had the spontaneous awakening, and I tapped into the light language, and it's exactly like how you mentioned. It's like it was even after like that amount of time, like 4 or 5 months passed, and then boom, it's like when my highest self knew I was ready to allow this into my reality, it was like a river. So you it was
Excellent.
working on me even if I didn't, wasn't conscious of
You're consciously aware of it.
it. Right.
That really validates how you've done it. That's
Sorry, can
really,
you repeat that?
There's
it really validates that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Wow.
I think it's been with me for ages. This is
Mhm.
because I've had dreams speaking other languages,
Me
wow.
too.
and
Ever since I was a kid, I knew I was going to be like a galactic ambassador. Like I was going to
oh
know
wow,
like a bunch of languages. And now how does one even know that kind of a thing when you're a little kid and it you can't make this stuff up.
yeah, yeah.
Right. That's
I
great.
think yeah, I think somehow I kind of it kind of it's not a matter of knowing, it's a matter of feeling when I was a little girl. And
Yes.
then I just I mean after grew up and stuff, and what I'm finding now is me reconnecting with that inner child that's allowing me to
Yes.
understand and feel things easier.
I'm glad that you said that because a friend of mine who's also a sound healer and she's kind of launching her new website, her and another friend, and her sessions are like that. It's about connecting with the inner child because a lot of the light languages get stuck here because we're too afraid to be. We're too afraid. How many of us, and I'm included, we're afraid to make noises in our own house when we're alone. Why? Nobody's listening, but we're ashamed of our own. So what she does in her sessions is just gets people to start making googly baby noises and be okay with connecting with that crazy, silly, and until you allow yourself to be that, you you we are so afraid of doing it wrong or being wrong or saying it wrong that we don't let it out at all, and it gets stuffed inside of there. And if we don't let our inner child out and let it play and make fun with the sounds, and it starts by being not afraid to talk to things like trees and flowers and the birds and hey, how you doing? And wow, you're awesome today. And thanks for that message. And oh, what do you have to say to me today? It's all
Yeah.
energy. It's all, we know that plants die if you don't talk to them. We know that water changes, molecules change if you talk nice to them or not nice to them. So this is not new. It's just
Reconnecting.
an expansion of
Yeah.
what we innately already knew.
Yes.
It's putting the physics to the mystery and letting science know it's the same. And if everything's connected
and all that is contains all that is, then science is part of all that is.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it separate? It's not.
Yes.
Nothing separate, nothing. Everything's connected to everything.
Did it, I'm actually gonna be heading out very soon, and I would like to just
Yeah, let's
get in some more time in speaking
great idea.
languages. I'm so valuing milking every minute of this time together.
I agree though. I like the both, the talking about it and the talking of it. So yeah, let's
Yeah, me too.
I know and I probably should go too. I need to eat and ground and meditate and all that 3D stuff too. So but yeah, let's finish this out with just languages, and then you just let me know when you got to go, and we'll just do a quick galactic goodbye. So yes, thank you so much, both of you. I want to say for being here too, and everyone who is in this now or watching it later. That's what this is about: expanding, growing, exploring who we are, and we don't know what we don't know, and being okay with not knowing what we don't know, and embracing that, and coming together and sharing what we don't know, and being okay about being silly and strange and stuff. So that's what it's all about. So yeah. Nitoro ko asani isila sotoro ko shamahilasi ikila ayunsho no ko asalahisa niti itili sisiana kala hoso no ko shaye ilisi ini ilaka tosho no ko yala siti asani tarakashana hosa. Talk to me, sisters.
Toto ayakai koto. Shora namba. Nantutai ka satu toyara. Yano mai kota. Kai hu koa mpata. Mpayo to ka tuo. Mpata sata. No mana mu kota.
Waya Neo. Neo. Por tia. Soro koto. Yeah. Yeah, Tio. Sorry. Soro koto. Ataya. Manaya ata yaya toyo. I think that's it.
Nikuya sono ko ashona ito asala. Itu asai itana osoto kosha. Inohoso no soto korashana elpoha. Nihi lesiha. Nihiso no rashana ko ontoroai. Imohosona hasa. Ikala ina asotoro koshoha. Sino sopo sono hasati alahi. Isonoku shonoku. The strange is familiar, and the familiar seems strange. Isi ila sina koko shonoto dogoa. Bosa niatarakila esi.
Tutu ai karu. Manantua satayata. Yaru kuomana. Huikarayatu. Satarayata. Kantuku. Mantu tuaikatassa. Tatu royakatumana. Nuai kutussutoayata. Uru kapunam putayata. Utuaikatatum. Let your lips be like the dam that let loose this force flow through. I'm getting that very clear message. Kutuatasatu noma. Yatumana yusuta. Sutuayaku. Yutuaikatu tuarayu tumakatu sutu. Kano manu mayasayatu.
Inutuya. Yes, they said you're opening up the fountain within you. Which surely great information and unconditional love will flow. Tisonatisa latina cosa ontarku borsha natara kanana tisoha nisuha shati hotsosoma ilisisia tarakosa. It will open up the song of your soul, the song of all of your souls. Isotoruku moshotari wala asana kosha. Catalina?
Sorry, I was just going to say that my heart feels like it's going to come out of my body.
I could feel you had something to say.
um, no, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Itoda samalisa
Thank
tukosa
you.
meha tukosa naha.
Tayaka tu mana. Tutoika sataru. Numaikato suto arayata mano. Utaikata sata turo kwa. Kanto toikato suto arayatu tuakasatu. It's time to step into sovereignty, into your own kingdom, and lay the stakes down for your kingdom to be built around your truth. Hutai koto.
Ino tuko
Sutoyaru kuatam. Nayatu kuat. Tanamutu. Tusutuaikatu tuara. Mananto to soto. There's not one part of you that's not connected to source. Koto tai koto ma. As you step into this, you will embrace this more in yourself. Tutai koto. Hutayatoru. Nana moya kata sataya. Tutayatu mana mo kata.
Rokoto toro. Araya na asoro koto. I wish I was in my shower.
Itusunuasa.
Sorry.
The water really does help as a conduit, and the other reason is because we are typically, when we are in the shower or the bath, we are in the least resistance of any other time while we're awake.
Right.
When we're awake, that is the time of least resistance. And
Okay.
so and anytime, you're in that place, but typically it's when you're in the water, the shower, because we are mostly made of water, and it really it helps us connect.
Yeah.
And that's why they tell us to make sure we remain hydrated as well.
Oh.
It's interesting that you said that about the castles and the kingdoms, because what they were telling me was it was the Inosuturuasha Itukuasana, the sovereign high priestess, the high council, the Pleiadian council, sovereign sisters of the Pleiadian Council of Sirius. Isotorukombosa tayela sinatarki osunupu satariki puhashanatira asolosa, for which we are connected. Isonuruko sapaleandaraki osonupu shashana katoroko salahisa supua osonusu supua ashana. Because as you stated earlier, isotoruko samosasua, as when you gather in these types of gatherings, you create a very specific vibration with the people you're co-creating with, which then connect with that same vibration. And so when we gather here, we are connecting with a very specific realm, a very specific frequency of beings. And so when we listen to these galactic languages, we feel these familiarities, we feel these connections. and it opens up the visions to those who are who can see these connections as well as feel them. If they it allows us to paint a picture.
Thank you.
You know, I feel like I think that this message around claiming our own sovereignty or reclaiming our sovereignty has been a theme that's been coming up a lot in my field because, and I think it's coming up a lot in a lot of people's fields because I mean it's like we're getting ready to elect, and every time that sort of to take part in that sort of thing again. I don't know if I lost you here.
No, I got
Okay.
you, and I agree with you. I agree with you because I've got the clear message, and I shared it with several of our my Divine Feminine Collective group of gals here that I got the message loud and clear yesterday that we really need to spend time together. The Divine Collective and us, we have very specific information and messages and a very specific vibration that we need to share with the human collective. And this gathering today, right now, they're telling me that this gathering today, right now, is an example of that. And this is the kind of thing that they were talking about, that once it's out there and it's recorded, and it's recorded in the Akash as well anyway, of course.
Right.
But once it's recorded out there and other people watch it at different times, it's like that, what we talked about earlier, the gift that keeps giving, that it continues to reverberate that frequency across the human collective. And so I believe many of us are feeling that sovereign connection, that stepping into our sovereign power and realizing that we are strong, we are not victims, we are creators of our own reality, and that we are tapping into these high frequency beings and information.
Brilliant.
Yes, I agree. And I yes, and I think that there is something very powerful about us coming together, and especially at this time of great shifts. I think that there is a really big shifts happening, and people realizing their personal power, and how coming together with other people that are on this same path of reclaiming their power, remembering their power, and remembering the innate divinity within. People will start looking less for an outside ruler, an outside source to tell them what is real for them, or what like I mentioned the election right now because I feel like there's a lot of attention placed on who's, and really what this time of Ascension is showing me and you and other friends of mine is that we can lead ourselves, but also show each other that we are, on this path and help each other. And so it's not just, but it's like, how are we going to create this new earth of like where we lead each other and we help each other, and I just think it's important to embody the qualities that we want to see from a leader that we want to lead us. So I think it's important to match up with what it is that we say we want from other people and to live up to that ourselves.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And the greatest, and that's what this is all about. It's not about competition. It's about empowering each other to recognize our own power. And that really is the greatest gift you can give anyone. It's not about you need me. It's about let me show you how you are your own power. You are divine. Everything's equal. You're as equal to your spirit guide as you are to the oversoul, as you are to the angels and the archangels and the ETs you're talking to. We're all on equal ground. Everything is created equally. It doesn't matter whether you're a rock or a rock star. You're the same. And so when we can finally understand that it's about empowering yourself, finding the light within you and believing in yourself that you are here and perfect and necessary and eternal, and you never get it wrong. It's just an experience. Nobody's judging you at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't work that way. And we're done giving our power away. That's and especially women. And so
Right.
And when we can finally understand what unconditional love truly means, it doesn't matter what you are, who you are, what color you are, what planet you come from, what galaxy you exist on, what realm you live. It doesn't matter. And the birds concur. The avian collective says, yeah.
There's collective present here. And we also have the metal birds. We have the metal birds around us as well. We have the airplane. So all sorts of avian races present.
That happens here too. I live right next to an airport, so a lot of times in my videos you'll hear all the birds, and then you hear I said, well, they fly too, right? It's just everything's a co-creation, everything's creation, and everything is energy. And it doesn't matter whether it's a bird or a rock or a plane or a human or a galactic language. Everything is energy. And our Einstein showed us that. Energy is matter. And anyway, besides all that, it's about how you feel. It's about your joy. It's about your heart.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to explore galactic languages, it's not like Catalina. You're not just learning it, you're remembering you've always known it. And that's what I want. If anybody comes away with anything today, come away with that. You already know it. It's part of you already. So is telepathy. So is channeling. So is being able to connect to source.
Yeah.
Nothing is separate from you. Nothing is inaccessible. Let's put it that way. And it's our belief systems that prevent us from accessing everything. So know that these are part of you, and anybody in the world out there who wants to explore the languages and embrace them, or any of this, understand it's already a part of you. You're not learning something new. You're remembering something you were already always capable of. You are a multidimensional being focusing in a three-dimensional reality, showing the rest of the universe how it's done.
And can I add to that a little bit? I just want to say that as I'm experiencing this, I'm recognizing that it's coming from the heart. It's not coming from your brain, it's coming from your heart, it's from your own vibration. So whatever belief system you have, just leave it aside. Don't use your brain, just trust your heart. Like as if, remember when you were a child and you had that complete trust. That's what I'm experiencing right now. And also, I would like to say that this information will come to the right people at the right time. So don't worry, it will come to you. when the right time is for you.
Thank you. That was so beautiful and so perfect. And just as Joanne and I were speaking earlier, that and this has been something that have been drummed into me for a while now too, is that you are all perfect and everything is in perfect timing. Everything. And the teacher will appear when the student is ready, and the student will appear when the teacher is ready. There's no hurry, there's no rush. Everyone is in perfect place where they need to be when they need to be there. And everything is synchronistic. Everything is an answer to what you've been putting out there. Everything. And just trust your heart. Just like she said, let it be about your heart and not about what you think or what you've come to learn or what other people believe or what other people think is right for you, or let other people question what you do or say or think or watch. You have to follow your heart, because this is your creation, it's your universe, and that's what we're coming to understand. Isataya shanatsiala asonakaha. Onta salamora shashani isonoa kataya. Kosha nisa sonokoa. Nitorako sanisa elisa. We lost Joanna, so I don't know if it was her internet or she had to leave, but I just want to thank everyone for exploring this, you, yourself, and if you're listening to this, it's because your guides have brought you here, because you've asked for it, your heart has asked for it, and your spirit guides are answering you and have brought you here.
Yes.
Right, sis?
Yes. Exactly how I came here today. I actually I turned my computer on wanting to find out more about languages, and this is the first link I saw. So
There
it's
you have it,
perfect.
folks.
The synchronization is perfect. Perfect synchronicity.
If that doesn't prove harmony and synchronicity, I don't know what.
Yeah.
And that's what I do every day. Even though I'm out there putting information out there, I'm still every day waking up asking myself that very question. What do I need to see and hear and do today? And who do I need to interact with today for my highest good and the good of which then in turn serves the good of the all? And by synchronicity and harmony and trusting that my higher guide is going to bring me, that's exactly how it happens. As soon as I turn on the computer, I'm instantly guided to exactly what I needed to hear or
I
see.
just yeah.
Always.
Just before we go, I have I don't know some reason I have an important message.
Okay, go right ahead.
Um, listen to your children. Listen to your children. Um, when they tell you things that your belief system might not allow it to to be, it doesn't mean that your child is wrong. Use this opportunity, if you have children, use this opportunity to help you, to help your belief systems to change. It's not the other way around. Your child doesn't need to change. Perhaps it's you the one that needs to look at yourself. Listen to them. They speak from the heart. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for that validation and that synchronicity. That was I received the same message this week about listening to our children and about listen and them being equal, and that their experience and what they're sharing with you is equally as valid as your experience. And that's a very good way to put it about don't allow your belief systems to cloud the
Yes.
validity of their experience. And
Yes.
that's a really, really, really good point. And I know that your children are younger and mine are grown. And so it's a different perspective. And so I appreciate that. And it is a very important message.
Yeah. I had to say it for some reason.
And I'm glad that you did. And
Because it helps, instead of blocking your child from growing up into a very controlled third dimension world, it's helping your child to grow up to be the true selves,
and they
to
children
thrive, to thrive.
children like animals see their multidimensional selves, and they allow themselves their imaginations, and they allow those realms in. And that's why children and animals see things we can't see, because our belief systems don't allow us to. So that's a really important message for parents, and especially those who and have been our experience recently, that there are a great many children who are waking up one morning speaking galactic languages. And it's difficult for people who are not familiar with any of this to even understand, or um, and to not brush it aside, and to actually embrace it and encourage it, because it may actually activate you too.
Yes.
And that you can have a new connection with your child that you never had. It's a new type of connection with your child, that you can actually share these galactic languages and connect with the galactic families in a way that you couldn't before, had you not shared this with your children. And many children bring information to us from other realms because we encourage this in them. They haven't been taught to believe they are not multidimensional.
That's right. Yes.
And unless we teach them they're not, they will grow to understand their complete multidimensionality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's a whole wave of children coming on this planet, being born, and that are waking up every day, exploring these and sharing this information with their parents. And parents need, not need, but parents, we invite and embrace you to, I invite you to embrace this and this aspect of you and your children, and allow that inner child of you to open up. And even if it's this is part of beyond your belief systems, at least know that it will open up, if nothing else, just more of who you are, and to allow you to explore more of who you are.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you.
I love that you brought that up. And so thank you for going with that instinct and that intuition of channeling that information. That's
Yeah.
what channeling is. It's trusting the information you're receiving from higher sources that you know is not coming like from your mind. It's coming from a knowing. And and then this urge to share it with the human world. And it if you are urged to share something, it's because there's someone else that needs to hear it. There's always two sides of every creation. Everything that's created is because someone else needs to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have the urge to share it, it's because someone else needs to hear it, see it, experience it. So I that is a pure example, Carolina, of taking that instinct, believing the information, not hesitating on sharing it, and not judging it before saying,
That's right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was, and to just say, and to be able to speak up in a group of people. And now, of course, it's just me and you right now, but to be able to speak up in a group of people and say, hey, I've got some information I need to share, because you know what? Someone needs to hear it. And
Yeah.
whether it's in that group right now or it's in the recorded video that someone's going to listen to 6 months from now, doesn't really matter, because time is an illusion really anyway.
Yeah.
So because when you're experiencing it now.
Yeah.
So no matter when whoever you are experiencing it, you're experiencing it now, regardless of when we recorded it. So so you are guided to share that information. And that's another part of expanding as a spiritual being, is to learn to trust that information and say, guys, hey, I got some information I'm supposed to share. Hey, somebody needs to hear it. And I don't know why, and I don't know who, and it doesn't matter, but hey, shut up, because I got something to say. And to be okay with saying, you guys, I got something to share. And for those of us sitting in the room going, hey, okay, shh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
someone's got something to share.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Because, I mean, as I said, I'm just starting to experience, or the languages in a few weeks, but,
But we've known each other for a long, long
spiritual.
time. And,
Yeah. Yes.
and we've exchanged, I mean, just, I know the world out there doesn't know that, but, she and I have exchanged just stuff you cannot even make up. And it's all just stuff that we felt. And then the knowing that we are connected in so many other levels, and we don't even need to know what they are and who they are. And yeah, it's fun to explore and go, oh yeah, we're Pleiadian sisters, or we're Syrian, or we're reptilian, or we're angels, or it's really, we were in Egypt together, or we were in these timelines. You know what? It's fun to explore all that. It's awesome. And that's the fun of channeling, is to be able to tap into that and go, oh my God, what was I, and who were we together, and what life did I, and it's so awesome to know all of that stuff about ourselves. But we don't need to know it to know it's real.
That's right.
We don't need to know what it is to know it is real. Like when you and I met, we immediately, like, there was that instant click and that connection. You go, okay, we don't know what it is. And we even said, okay, I don't know you and you don't know me, but I love you and I don't know why. It's like, you're like, I love you, and you're my family, and
it was
afterwards.
It was actually afterwards when we realized we do actually travel together in astral, right?
Yes. And now we know it.
Yes, yeah.
And now it's great to say, okay, let's go get a private session with someone who connects to the kind of information that you and I could go say, hey, let's go find out how we're connected. But it's all fine and great and awesome and fun, and it supports the person who's channeling. It gives us information that we get to explore and know about ourselves. But yet even,
and it's the highest, it's a highest excitement.
Yes.
That's another thing, if guys, if you feel that it is right, then just follow it, because it's your highest excitement. It's something that you that you feel.
It just
if it's right, it's right.
It just feels good. And
if it's not your highest excitement, then go and follow your highest excitement.
Right. Go. Yeah, exactly. This is it. Go. And that's the best part of it, because you can come into this hangout and go, this isn't for me. But that's okay, because that's the best part, because it pushes you to go find what is it.
That's right. And even if you come for 5 minutes and you get that tiny bit of information you needed, then that's great. That's
Right,
perfect.
exactly. And it's not about, oh, you got to love me or you got to hear this or me or my message. It's not about that. It's about, okay, what does resonate and go putting that out there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
So thank you so much.
well, thank
I'm so
you. I'm so
grateful that you
nice
do these webinars. I'm really, really grateful.
that you hopped in and that
Thank you.
you followed
And
your
thank
truth and your joy and just,
yes. Thank you so much.
so thank
And
you. And so much love. Isonoa
yes,
sa palisi
much love.
naki alo sotoro koshona pelea sa sina ukura I ina tadiki sotoro kosono toro shoha la sia I kai I itiki sana ni sosomo shoya koto kosa. And I will definitely see you in our dream state and in the astral.
Yes. See you
And
later.
I did get the message. I did earlier get the message too that we were sharing an experience from Era.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Can you tell me later?
Well, I don't. We were talking when we were talking galactic languages. I got the message that you and I were discussing an
Ah, okay.
experience that we had on Era together.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
So I'm not quite sure what it was or anything, but I was just getting that message. So
Yes. It's so synchronicity all everywhere.
everywhere, it's everywhere,
Yes.
guys, it's everywhere. So synchronicity and harmony to you all, and just know that when the synchronicities happen, it's because you're in harmony with your true core vibration.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Brilliant. Oh, thank you.
so
Thank you
much
so much.
love.
Yeah.
Mahalo,
Much
sister.
love. Much love.
Hinata. La. Isha.